This is another German Pilsner battle for you. When I bought this tank from Miami called Playita, it was listed as a Czech Pilsner on the Total Wine description, but on Beer Advocate it's listed as a German Pilsner. What's the difference? I don't know. Anyway, this, let's see, is rated at 86 on Beer Advocate, and it has an ABV of 5.1. It's going to go against Paulaner Pils, a real German Pilsner, rated at 4.8 ABV, and has a Beer Advocate score of 85. So this is 86, this is 85. Apparently, this is almost unnoticeably better than this, according to the score of Beer Advocate. Comparison side by side, I can see that the Paulaner Pils, which is this one here, is a little bit darker. This is a little bit more pale, but I don't know how present that is on this camera, which is a Galaxy S9. Not the best, but good enough. But probably, maybe not the best camera I got. But, now, when I poured these, they both produced a pretty good head, which is now dissipated. Because I gotta pour it and then set up all the camera and everything. So I believe I'd be able to tell these apart by looking at them. So I will go ahead and mix these up and then start just drinking. I like putting U.S. craft beers up against their German beers of the same style. So both of these are listed as Pilsners. One's a German Pilsner, the other one is a German Pilsner or a Czech Pilsner, depending on which site you go to, where it's classified as. And I did notice aromas with them both too when I opened them up and poured them. Because you get aroma more when it foams up. I usually try to pour it without getting foam, so that usually doesn't contribute to it producing a lot of aroma. That's good. It's quite good. A great flavor, sweetness, a little bit of bitterness, very well balanced. And it's got some, it's got a bit of finish there. This is good. Now I did try to look up some flavor descriptions of these two beers by reviewers. Now I wasn't able to find much other than the reviewers for the Paulaner, which might be this one, say it was very well balanced, and this one is well balanced. It's got a sweetness to it, as I said, and a bittery finish. I think one reviewer said it had a surprising hint of floral jasmine. Now, I don't know what floral jasmine tastes like. But there is something about this one that might be that floral jasmine. If you ever had any of those fragrant soaps with various aromas to them, like what you get in Chinatown in San Francisco. I bought a bunch of these soaps for my wife when I went out there to visit for work. And the reason I got them was because I liked the way they smelled. Now, I don't smell anything here, but I do taste it. And if you can imagine what that soap would taste like, that's kind of what you're getting here. But it's, soap usually doesn't taste good. But you can sometimes associate a flavor with a smell. And I've done that before in my beer descriptions. So this could be the floral jasmine that they were talking about. I don't know. See, the last time, or in a matter of fact, the last beer comparison review that I did, I read the flavor descriptions and I thought, well, this beer that I'm drinking here matches those descriptions, so it's probably the one that I think it is, but it turned out the other one was. I could easily make the same mistake again. So I don't know which I'm going at. If I was to take that floral jasmine description into consideration, I would say that this is the Paulaner. However, I've had Paulaner Pils before, and it was really well balanced, and I liked it, and therefore I thought this was the Paulaner Pils when I first started drinking it. But this has that flavor. Maybe I'm getting the descriptions mixed up. Maybe it was the other one that said it was floral jasmine. Let me check my notes here. Okay. Hop accented for the La Playita. Paulaner is hoppy, crisp, and clean with a floral jasmine note. So, I don't know. The question is, which one do I prefer? Well, to tell you, the floral jasmine note would be something that would require getting a taste for, because I'm just not used to that kind of flavor in a beer. And now that I've opened my eyes and looked at them, this one that I'm looking at right now appears to be darker, so I think that one is the Paulaner. And I think that my initial guess was correct at that being the Paulaner, because it was just so well balanced and almost perfect. It had some sweetness going in, it had a slightly bitter finish. You couldn't ask for a much better beer. But I can still get it wrong here. Now let's try this one again. This one is more bitter up front, more sour up front, which is consistent throughout the drink. It comes on up front and it maintains that feel and flavor until the finish. And there is definitely some kind of maybe a flowery feel or taste to it, which might indeed be the floral jasmine note that some reviewer described. I can't say that because I have no idea what floral jasmine tastes like, but I do know what these soaps smell like, these fragrant soaps that I bought from. I know what they smell like, and I can imagine what those smells, how they would translate into flavor. And this one has it. However, I think this is not the Paulaner. I think it's Tank. So I'm giving it to this beer. And I was correct. It is the Paulaner. So the Paulaner comes out on top of this one, which doesn't surprise me. Because like I said, I'm familiar with this one. I've had it before. I've done it. I've compared it in other beer reviews. And I think when I did a comparison of multiple beers from Munich, multiple Pilsners, well, not just Munich, but Germany in general. I think I did Kronbacher and Koenig and maybe even a Warstein or Warsteiner Pils. They were all Pilsners, and I'm pretty sure that the Paulaner came out on top. I don't know, those videos should be present. So I will take the Paulaner Pils over La Playita. Now, if it wasn't for that particular flavor in this beer, it might come out on top because it is more bitter, but it just has, I wouldn't say a rotten flavor, but a flavor that I haven't developed a taste for it yet. So let's see how this turns out. 50-50 almost, approximately. A Paulaner and La Playita. I would say that the mixture isn't as good as either one individually. Now I'll pass on that. Give me the Paulaner Pils. This would be one of my go-to beers if I just wanted to drink some beer and didn't care. This Hofbräu original, the Weinstefane original, Budweiser from Bohemia. Those are my favorite beers, which I've mentioned several times. You're probably tired of me hearing it if you watched a bunch of my videos. Anyway, I'm going to end this here, and I don't know if I'll do any other beer reviews for a while, but maybe I will. I don't know. Thanks for watching.